G'day guys, how's it going? Welcome back of course to the Time Bomb channel, and I hope all is good in your part of the world. Watch review of the Citizen Sport BM7630-80L Eco Drive. If you are interested in this watch, then head over to First Class Watches here in the UK. Let them know, of course, you came from the Time Bomb channel, and they will do their best, no doubt, to help you with a best price offer. Let's just pause and zoom in. No, let's just tell you what I was going to say. So what I was going to say was that I don't know about you, but I kind of find Citizen watch releases a little bit confusing. They sort of seem to release models quite haphazardly, and then I typically find out about the releases through a store rather than through their email circulars. So I got one email from them advertising some watches that had been released, but then a whole bunch of others had been released several months ago and no notification. Thankfully, though, First Class Watches are up to speed, and I spied this one. Let's just zoom in then. All right. So, oddly again, though, unfortunately with Citizen, with this one, it gets no other naming than other than just Sport. So they couldn't come up with other name for it. It's just Citizen Sport, Men's Sport. Um, First glance tells you that, yeah, they kind of had got their design ideas from a certain other famous watch. So it's not exactly fresh, but it does come very much with Citizen's solid build quality. If this blue dial isn't your cup of tea in the afternoon, they come in several other colors. There's this sort of pale green, blue green color. And then this one I'm not so sure about, Goldilocks here. And then this other nice one, I like very much, which is this all black. I think it lends itself it lends itself very well with the design of the watch. On to then some key speccage. So these are a very manageable 41 mils across. They are a super slim 10 mils deep. There's not much mineral crystal popping up over the top of that 10 mil. It's just around the same as that bezel, so that's good. North to south, it is then 47 mils, and notice female end links ish. So again, you won't have too much overhang. They come with 100 meters worth of watery goodness, mineral crystal as I referenced previously, and of course then the Citizen solar charging Citizen Eco Drive movement. It is all stainless steel construction, but it is deceptively light. More on that in a second. It actually weighs on this unsized bracelet 130 grams, so that's pretty damn good. And let me just throw it on wrist so you can see what it looks like. My wrist is 7¼ inch, so as you can see, that overhang is perfect on my wrist, and I think you can, anybody with a 6.5, 66.5 to 7.5 can wear this one with ease. I'll throw up some outside shots there as well, because I managed to grab a little bit of sunshine so that you could see it as well. One of the reasons specifically I asked First Class to have a look at this one is because of the dial. The photos of the dial, impressed a lot. However, in hand, it's actually a lot more subtle. There is texture on the dial, but that texture is essentially those solar cells. So I was expecting perhaps something that resembled a bit more guilloche, but it's pretty flat. However, as you can see with the reflection here, the light just bounces off it. I mean, just bounces off it in every angle. And yeah, it's a huge amounts of fun. You've got aspects of sunburst on there as well. I mean, really very pretty indeed. As I say, this is where Citizen, for the price point, really do offer you something that is very nice indeed. The obviously, as you would expect, the steely bezel then is entirely fixed. So perhaps that countdown counter there is a little on the redundant side, but we won't go into that. The brushing, as you can see, is rough, but again, it's very well finished. It's not a super fine brushing, but I don't think it needs to be. However, one slight downside is that the hex bezel there, they've kind of copied that shape or outline onto the crown. I think that's a little bit of a mistake, because it is it is very slippy and smooth, and your hands just yeah, slip over the top of it. It needed to be knurled, or alternatively those flat sides need to be just a little bit bigger so that you can, yeah, you can operate it a bit easier. It is, of course, eco drive, so unless you're traveling, you're not going to need to adjust it very much. So I suppose that's the counter argument. But as I say, I just like to be able to grab hold of a crown and use it. Where was I going next? The case back. Yeah, so the case back, as you would expect, is pretty minimal, smooth, straightforward, no nonsense. The case body, as I was referencing earlier with the brushing, I really don't. I like the way that the case shape drops down into the, to create those false lugs from this angle. Yeah, it's just, again, solid citizenness. No nonsense watches, well built, well executed. And I like as well how they managed to get the bracelet end link there to fit into the lugs. Look how smooth, and how the steel is the similar sheen and everything like that. Seiko, look how, if Citizen can get it right on a $200 pound watch, why can't you get it right on a 800,000 pound watch? It's not that difficult. And I think it makes the watch look really, really good. The bracelet, I think, perhaps coming back to what I was referencing before, was around the weight saving. Excuse me. The links themselves are, I don't know if you can just see that in there, they are folded, as opposed to being solid. They are very well executed and well folded, but of course they are hollow as a consequence, and I think that's where that weight saving comes from, and it does make it a fraction jingly, and there's a little bit of movement there. Personally, I would have preferred the solid links here because they're sturdier and tighter, but they've done a fairly good job of finishing it from the outside and the inside. Clasp, as you would expect, they seem to like these pressed ones, and you got a couple of micro adjusts there if you need them. In conclusion, also, no, not conclusion, we haven't looked at the loom yet. The loom is Citizen exemplary stuff. It looks brilliant. It is indeed faultless nocturnal viewing, which would keep you entertained and also be able to tell what time it is in lots of lights. In conclusion, then, I think it's a fun, easy wearing watch that has some design heritage, from other famous watches. It's priced competitively, and I think it's going to work for many, many people. Over to you guys. What's your take on this, and what do you reckon of these sports watches from Citizen? Massive thanks again to First Class Watches for the loan, and thanks always to you guys for your time and your view, and we'll catch you all in the next vid. Cheers now.